Hello everyone and welcome to Game Club. Today, the Chameleon, the game where you've got to blend in to not get caught. And that's odd, it's normally blend in to stand out, whatever that means. Join us as we open her up, play and review. So I'm going to start with the unboxing, as we always do. Big Potato Games. This box, I can imagine sitting on a shelf is stunning. It's got some great work around the side. I like the detail, and I think obviously the top of the box, wow, you can imagine that will really pick out kids and adults as well. It's it's a well put together idea. Right, we've got the rules. Now I think obviously, as you can see, me looking at this, it's not as clear as me looking on the screen here. So that does say the rules, I can see that, but it looks far better on camera than it does in real life. Very straightforward. The game is pretty straightforward anyway, but there you go. Then you've got Big Potato Games. They've got a little sticker there. The Potato Club, apparently that's where I get points, not just great fries. We've got the pen, which we'll need to mark stuff down. We've got our topic board, where we have topics, and then we've got our topics themselves. Once again, this films a lot better than it does up here. Then we've got green there, which are your, they're your cards for players, to tell them what to play. Green and blue, so the two teams. We have yellow dice, and we have the blue dice. Anyway, we've now done that, so I guess it's the only thing left to do now is to basically play and then review the Chameleon. Right everyone, so the Chameleon playthrough. I'm basically going to start by doing one major thing, which is the booklet suggests you look on YouTube at how to play the Chameleon game. Yep, 100% well worth directing you there. Very good video by our friends at Big Potato. They really put something together that it's just very seamless, because the game is quite simple actually, but it's very seamless. You have here effectively this is the rules for smaller groups, so 3 players, larger groups, 7 or 8 players, and then a scoring, which is optional if you're playing as teams. Now, I will point out that personally I think the game suits 6 players. Less than 4, it just feels a little bit sort of, because it's easier to detect. So, right, basically what you do is this: you have your cards here. Effectively, there's the one with the Chameleon, and everyone else will get a non-Chameleon one, which is quite useful indeed. As you can see, they all are very much the same. And what happens is that you get your card, which is your topic card. That then shows you your topic here. You can write it on here, and I've seen people do that, but I actually find that leaving that like that is far more easier. You then roll your dice, and for instance, so you've got a 4 and a 2. You probably can't see that, I'll just show you like that. So 4 and a 2. And what effectively happens now is you then will go on, if we're playing on the blue team, remember you've got the green cards as well, which also have a You Are a Chameleon card, and you go 4 and you go 2, and you've got A1, and A1 is obviously Jurassic Park. Now what you've got to do is you've got to detect who the Chameleon is, but not give it away to the opposite team, or if you're playing it in a single team, not give away the secret word, so the person who is the Chameleon wins because they find out what the word is. So what happens, and to be fair, this in the booklet they've got this kind of farm animal tasty fried. It kind of works. It's kind of it kind of puts across what it is. There is one issue which effectively works like this, is that you have a team that sometimes the Chameleon themselves starts off, and that can be a red flag straight away. That said, however, the game is very much about kind of finding a kind of middle ground. So what I would say is that if you are playing it with a few friends, it's better to play 2 or 3 times to start with, so people get in sort of into it before I'd say seriously starting to commit to playing it, because it can be tricky. It is, however, a very good word game. It's almost as good as possibly the best word game of them all, which is Codenames, obviously. Now, just put that back in there, so we've got it all. That goes on there, and then we've got like that. So now, join me as I review the Chameleon. So you've already heard me say it, that the Chameleon is nearly as good as the game that is probably the best wordsmith game, Codenames. The Chameleon really comes out from that sort of era of games where what you're effectively doing is, it's a party, you're playing with words, you're playing with phraseology, and you're playing with the idea that you are trying to ascertain information but also restrict information as such. Because the thing about Codenames, for instance, was that it was a game where you prodded and probed to find out things by one person giving you a word and then you using that to detect on a board. This is far more subtle. This is about using words that link together in order to extrapolate who is or is not a duplicitous monster or a chameleon. It's fun. It certainly suits a 6 and 7 and 8 player. I mean, teams, I would personally say teams, so you can have 10 players, for instance, 5 and 5. It suits that. It doesn't suit smaller players, i.e. smaller teams, like 3s, maybe even 4s, I wasn't such a big fan of. And also it suffers a little bit from being the sort of game where you have to really get into it before it really sort of begins to pay back or reward. But that said, the Chameleon is a very good party game, and a game that I think long-term players will probably enjoy a lot more than they give credit to at the moment. So that's the Chameleon. I'm Simon Kennedy, and this is Game Club. Thank you for watching.